Are you tired of getting your daily dose of name-branded vitamin C immunity booster? Like it's 2012 and the cinnamon challenge is taking the world by storm? Or maybe you're bored of mixing it with water only for it to taste like some awful adult Kool-Aid, and not like the kind a frat party would serve. Then look no further, because we've got just the right recipe for you. It's emergen-c chicken. Just call 1-800-462-6733 and we'll send you the recipe for just 3 easy payments of 1 toilet paper roll. Call now.
Okay, I have no idea what that was all about, but today's recipe is orange chicken, with a slight twist. Right off the bat, you're going to want to start by washing your hands, because
it's Corona time.
Yeah. Now, I'm not talking like you swipe your hands under the faucet for a couple seconds. No, I'm talking you spend at least 20 seconds, at minimum, and you think about every single germ and bacteria that's being cleansed from your palms. Like I'm talking the sequel of Osmosis Jones underneath your fingernails. Alright? Because I, for one, am not taking any chances, and you shouldn't either. Now that your hands are properly washed, add to a large mixing bowl a 1/4 cup of flour, followed by a 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and a pinch of salt. Then you're going to want to crack an egg into a smaller mixing bowl, one-handed preferably, to show off. Then take out, I guess it'd be considered a trident, and whisk the egg thoroughly. Then also make sure to mix up the flour and cornstarch mixture. Just shimmy the bowl around a little bit. It works. Then chop up some scallions or green onions with a very dull knife. I do not recommend this, as it's the prime way of cutting anything that's not the green onion. Once chopped, place into a small bowl and set it to the side. Then unpeel 2 cloves of garlic by pressing down firmly with the side of your knife. Then dice finely. Now we're going to cut up some chicken. Chicken breast, chicken thigh, either way works really. Just make sure you cut them up into equally sized pieces. That way when we end up frying it, everything has the same cooking time. If you're like me and misplace your chicken, you better wash your counter because, like I said, we are not here for these germs, alright? I'm not trying to catch corona or salmonella, if you feel me. After you've cut up all the chicken and placed it into the egg wash mixture, now to tackle the oil. Fill a large deep pot with approximately enough oil to have about 2 inches in the pot. Then heat it up on medium to medium-high heat. While the oil is warming up, add the chicken into the flour mixture and make sure it's evenly coated, and then place onto another plate. If you wanted to just make popcorn fried chicken or something like that, just add other seasonings like pepper, garlic powder, paprika, etc. to the flour mixture. Anyways, once you've got that all settled together and onto the other plate, set up the frying station, which consists of another plate lined with paper towels to soak up the excess oil, and a pot lid to suffocate any significant oil crackles. So one way to check if the oil's hot enough, if you don't have a thermometer like me, is you put something like a wooden spoon or a wooden chopstick into the oil, and then if you see some small bubbles start to emerge from it, then the oil's hot enough to fry in. To fry the chicken, be sure to lay it down slowly and away from yourself, so you don't get any oil splashed on you in the case that things start to go pop. Then fry for approximately 2 to 3 minutes on each side, and if you're like me and only have 1 pair of tongs, it's best to wash off all the flour-egg mixture. That way when you do dip it into the hot oil, you're not going to get more small crispy bits in there that could potentially burn. Also make sure when you're washing your tongs that you thoroughly dry them so you don't get any water droplets in the oil, because that's how you get a snap, crackle, and pop of boiling hot oil everywhere. If you feel as though the oil is sizzling too angrily, you might want to take the heat down a notch, or maybe move the pot off the source. And if you're really in a pinch like me and you're kind of afraid of frying to begin with, just scooch the pot away and let things die down for a little bit. The oil can sense your fear. Watch out if you're putting the lid on, since there could potentially be oil on that lid, so if you put it above the heat source you might end up with a grease fire that way as well. So yeah, basically just make sure you got something that can clean off the work surface of the stove nearby, and you know where your fire extinguisher is, and all that good stuff, because you know the oil is hot. While you fry the chicken in batches, you can make the sauce in the meantime, or not in case multitasking is a bit too much. So to another bowl, add about a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, a tablespoon of soy sauce, and then a 1/2 cup of sugar. I used a tiny bit of brown sugar and powdered sugar for the rest because that's what I had. Then add a tablespoon of vinegar. Rice wine vinegar works as well as white vinegar, whatever you got really. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of red chili pepper flakes. Mine happened to be from Buca de Beppo because they catered the band several months ago, and I took like 30 packets, so yeah. Now for the secret ingredient, good old emergen-c, to give us that orange flavor and vitamins for our orange chicken. So I wasn't really sure what was going to happen with this because if you don't know, there's sodium bicarbonate, aka baking soda in emergen-c, which is kind of the thing that gives it that weird fizzle pop rock sensation. And if you've ever made a volcano science experiment in school, you'll know what baking soda and vinegar does. But yeah, nothing bad happened thankfully, because there's only a trace amount of baking soda. But anyways, you're gonna add another tablespoon or so of cornstarch in a smaller mixing vessel along with some water to make a cornstarch slurry, which you will then add to the sauce mix. To thicken the sauce, heat up a pot or a pan on medium to medium-low heat, then add the sauce, and if you're like me, the pot's too hot and you almost made a garlic soy sauce caramel. Once the sauce is thickened to your appropriate consistency, we're just about done. Just taste for seasoning, really. Now I have the grand idea of adding a bit of lemon juice, although of course, if you are in the apocalyptic situation where you have emergen-c and no actual fruit or fruit juice, then guess you're just out of luck. But I had lemon juice, so, it'd be like that. With the sauce complete, all you've got to do is add your bits of chicken, and then mix it around a little bit. So, put the emergen-c chicken onto the bed of rice, and if you need to know how to make rice, call me back later because this video is already long enough as it is, and I doubt any of you were actually going to go through with this in entirety. Sprinkle some green onions on top, and garnish with a packet of emergen-c, for the gram. And bada bing bada boom, you got yourself some orange chicken fit for a pandemic.